Today we're starting lesson 4. You're going to need your notes. It says, how do environments change? So on your notes, page 6, right at the top says, how do environments change? Plants and animals can change their environment. Natural events, such as fire, can change the environment too. These changes affect plants and animals that live in the environment. Change often occurs in patterns. Living things cause change. People often change the environment to better suit their needs, but they are not the only ones. For example, when a beaver builds a dam, many changes occur. Water backs up behind the dam. Then a new wetland habitat grows. Fish, birds, and many other types of animals can now live there. The dams, however, flood the places that were once dry. What do you think happens to the living things that once lived on dry land? Some look for new homes. They might compete for space in nearby places. Others, they might not survive. So at the picture, you can see a beaver, and he's building this home. So right here, they built these dams, and then the water spilled over the banks of the river, and area that was once dry is now wet. So animals like a deer that need that area that's dry land, now they don't have it anymore, it's wet. So they need to go somewhere else because fish are now living there because it's created where water is. So for the first one, how does a beaver change its environment? It builds a dam. You can see here, this is one of those dams here, and then here they've got this lodge that they're now living in, and the water level is raised. So, how does it hurt other living things in the environment? Well, it takes away dry land. How does it help? Well, because it's now wet, it gives home to fish and other animals. All right, I'm moving on, so if you still need that, go ahead and pause the video here. Natural events cause change. Natural events can also change environments. For example, hurricanes can change coastlines. They wash away beaches and knock down trees. They can cause terrible floods. Floods change environments too. They kill plants and wash away birds' nests. Floods spread thick blankets of mud. They also carry rich soil from one place to another. Too little water also causes damage. Little rain falls during a drought. Plants die from lack of water. If animals cannot find enough water, then they may die and move to other places. You can see here we have high winds and water that are changing like a hurricane. We've got a drought happening here where the plants are drying out because there's no water. And at the bottom, you've got a picture of this flood. Now, while these houses are currently surrounded by water, when that flood finishes and the water goes away, it's going to leave behind a layer of really, really fertile soil that'll help plants grow afterwards. So, what natural events cause change to the environment? You could say hurricanes, floods, and droughts. Why might animals leave after a hurricane? Their shelter might have been ruined. Sorry, that's T-H-E-I-R. How can a flood be helpful? Well, like that picture at the bottom of the page, it brings good soil. On the next page, we're going to talk about volcanoes. How can a volcano destroy an environment, and how does it recover over time? Living things return. On May 18, 1980, the volcano Mount St. Helens erupted in the state of Washington. This eruption was huge. Winds carried clouds of ash around the world. The blast changed the local environment. It knocked over trees. It burned whole forests. Rivers of mud covered large areas. There were few signs of life after the eruption. Over time, however, wind carried the seeds of grasses, flowers, and trees to the mountain. New plants began to grow. Soon, spiders and beetles arrived. Birds returned to live in the standing dead trees. Each new change allowed more kinds of plants and animals that depend on them to live there again. Today, even elk live on Mount St. Helens. The mountain is filled with life once more. In September 2004, Mount St. Helens rumbled to life again. An active volcano can bring sudden change at any time. How can a volcano destroy the environment? No plants or animals can survive. How does it recover over time? Things slowly come back. Or return. First, the wind's going to blow in seeds that plants can be there. Plants will start growing again. Then when plants are there, things like birds will come back. And slowly you'll get to the bigger animals coming back as well. Number 7, what 2 ways are wildfires good for the forest? Fires also change environments. Fires happen often in forests and grasslands. Lightning may strike a tree. A burning branch falls to the ground. Then, fire creeps along the forest floor. It removes small plants competing for space to grow. However, the plants that do not burn will have more living space. Ooh, more living space. Pause it there if you're not done. Also, ash from fires is good for the soil. It helps plants grow. Ash helps plant grow. Eruptions and fires are examples of events that cause change. The change often kill plants and destroy animal homes. The changes, however, may improve habitats for other plants or animals. So you can see there, ground fire might kill plants, but help new plants to grow. You can see this new young pine at the bottom here is growing fast because its area has been cleared out. Tomorrow we'll pick it up with our next page on page 118.